Welcome to all. I am going to present about steam boilers. Before entering the topic, I will give the definition of steam boiler. It's nothing but a closed vessel in which steam is produced from water by combustion of fuel. As per the ASME definition, a combination of apparatus for producing, furnishing, or recovering heat together with the apparatus for transferring the heat so made available to the fluid being heated and vaporized. In generally, the steam generator used for various purposes. Here I have given some important applications for generating power in steam engine and steam turbines, sizing and bleaching, example textile, chemical industry, sugar mill, etc. Heating the building and primary requirements. The water must be contained safely. The steam must be safely delivered in desired condition like pressure, temperature, and steam quality and molecule. And requirement of good boilers. There are many factors involving to achieve the good boiler as the requirement. Here I have given some more details regarding the requirement of good boilers. The installation of boiler should be simple. It should occupy minimum space. It should be in light in weight. It should be capable of quick starting. It should be absolutely reliable. Easy access to the boiler part for repair and inspection. Steam production rate should be as per requirements. Boiler tubes should not accumulate shoot or allow scaling. Sufficiently strong to allow wear and corrosion. Boiler should produce the maximum weight of steam of the required quality at minimum expenses. And then this is selection of boiler, which is also very important for selecting the steam boiler. The working pressure and quality of steam is one of the primary selection of boiler. And then the floor area available, accessibility for repair and inspection of the boiler also important thing. While considering that selection of boiler, comparative initial cost also high. Erection facilities, the portable load factors, the fuel and water available, operating and maintenance cost also is a important parameters while selecting the steam boilers. And then the classification of steam boiler according to the position like horizontal, vertical or inclined, where fire tube and water tube boiler also one of the important classification of boilers. Then externally fired and internally fired, forced circulation and natural circulation, high pressure and low pressure, stationary and portable, single tube and multi tube. Like that way we can classify that steam boilers. This is horizontal, vertical or inclined boiler figures. Through the figures we can able to see the horizontal boiler, where the boiler position will be in that horizontal direction, so that it is called horizontal. Vertical boiler is located in that vertical position, and in that vertical boiler also can able to um, incline according that required angle. It's called inclined boiler. And fire tube boiler, if hot gases are inside the tube and water is outside the tube, it's called fire tube boiler. Example coherent Lancashire and locomotive boilers. Here the schematic diagram showing that fire tube boiler. Here the hot coal will provide that fire passing through the fire steam tube. Mm, because of that, the steam able to produce uh, on the steam tube. Finally we will get a steam output. And water tube boiler also in that similar trend, but the furnace is producing the heat. That heat is conveying through the water tubes. Because of that, we can able to generate that steam from the boiler. Example: Babcock and Wilcox, Stirling, Aero boilers, etc. And externally fired and internally fired boilers also classified. The boiler is known as externally fired if the fire is outside of the cell. Example: Babcock and Wilcox, Stirling. The boiler is known as internally fired if the furnace is located inside the boiler cell. Example: Cochran, Lancashire. Forced circulation and natural circulation. This is based on the circulation of steam. Here in the forced circulation type of boilers, the circulation of water is done by a forced pump. In natural circulation type of boiler, circulation of water in the boiler takes place due to natural convection currents produced by the application of heat. Then we can classify that high pressure and low pressure. The boilers which produce steam at pressures of 80 bar and above are called high pressure boilers, which means the boiler can able to generate high pressurized steam, which is denoted as high pressure boiler. Which boiler cannot able to produce that above 80 bar pressure steam, those boilers will come under that low pressure boiler category. Stationary and portable. The stationary boilers are used for power plant steam, for central station, utility power plant, for plant process steam, etc. Mobile or portable boiler include locomotive type and other small unit for temporary use at site. And then comparison of fire tube and water tube boilers. Basically, most of the industries will utilize the fire tube or water tube boilers according that the requirement and the availability of sources. The industries can able to carry their process through these boilers. Here have shown some details regarding that fire tube boiler and the water tube boiler. According to the position of water and hot gases, fire tube boiler hot gases inside the tube and water outside the tube. Water tube boiler water inside the tube and hot gases outside the tube. Mode of firing: the fire tube boiler generally internally fired, but the water tube boiler externally fired. Operation pressure limited to 16 bar for fire tube boiler. Water tube boiler can go up to 100 bar. Rate of steam production of fire tube boiler lower compared with water tube boiler. Suitability: not suitable for large power plant compared with water tube boiler. Risk of bursting: involves less risk of explosion due to low pressure in the fire tube boiler. The water tube boiler more risk on bursting due to high pressure. Floor area requirement is a given power unit occupies more floor area in the fire tube boiler's place. water tube boiler for a given power it occupies less floor area. According the construction, the fire tube boiler is difficult, but according the construction, the water tube boiler is so simple compared with fire tube boiler. This is our basic comparison between fire tube and water tube boiler. With this topic, I will conclude this. This continuation will be followed by next video part 2. Thanks.